Hi guys, today is the day I'll be reviewing some of your profiles on LinkedIn. So a few days ago I asked you to send me the links to your profile and to share one thing that you've learned during quarantine thanks to LinkedIn. I received so many submissions, which was awesome, so thanks to everyone who showed their interest. And now let's dive in and let's review the 5 lucky profiles, which by the way, it was really tough for me to choose, but I did it, and now let's dive in. This is the first time I'll be looking at these profiles. Well, actually, that's not true. I'll be looking at them for the second time because I had to take a first look to actually pick those 5 profiles. But anyways, I'll be just sharing my first impression and giving you my personal opinion based on my experience seeing profiles on LinkedIn and helping people write their LinkedIn profiles every single day. Obviously, if you ask other people to have a look at your profile, they might have other suggestions and other opinions, which is great. So I highly recommend you to get as many eyes on your LinkedIn profile as possible. But the purpose of today is for me to share my perspective and help you turn your LinkedIn profile into your best self-sell yet. Alright, so the first lucky profile is Dehlia C. So Dehlia, first of all, what is C? I mean, I understand that that is something that you probably adjusted in your privacy settings, but if you are on the lookout for more opportunities and if you want to open yourself up for more connections on LinkedIn, you need to open up your full name. So I can see that you did customize your profile URL, so great job on that. It's really important and it helps to make the link to your profile more shareable so that you can share it on other social media, on your resume, and it just looks polished and professional whenever you want to direct anyone to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, let's have a look at your profile picture. Guys, your profile picture on LinkedIn is really important because whether we like it or not, we do live in the world of first impressions, and if you want more people to reach out to you, to connect with you, to want to message you, you want to make sure that you get them excited to do so, and that means making a really good first impression. So Dehlia, in your case, I know that you're a graphic designer, so you have the right to be a little bit more creative and improvise a little bit better, but I would definitely not recommend having this kind of filter on your profile headshot. Also, when it comes to your cover image, so the background image right at the top, kudos to you for customizing that and not just leaving the weird blue default option. But at the same time, I've seen so many profiles of graphic designers on LinkedIn, and all of them do the exact same thing that you did. You know, it's a good idea to have the link to your portfolio in that cover image. Unfortunately, LinkedIn does not allow you to embed a hyperlink, so no one can really click on that link and go directly to your portfolio. But still, it's a good idea to show that. But what I would recommend is for you to get a little bit more creative. Well, you are a graphic designer, so clearly you know that much better than I do. To get a little bit more creative and make sure that your background image does stand out from hundreds of other profiles on LinkedIn of people who also know graphic design and who also work in creative professions. Okay, let's keep looking. Your headline, again, one of the most important features of your LinkedIn profile, something that anyone will see whenever they look you up on LinkedIn. So you have here graphic designer helping organizations communicate abstract ideas into visual solutions. I would say that is pretty long for a slogan type headline. Like, kudos to you for trying to make it a little bit more of a marketing statement as opposed to just having keywords and stuff. But I would say that you need a more punchy line here that would be more concise and a little bit more eloquent. Also, you have here always curious, always genuine. I'm sure you are, but how does that help me as a recruiter or as a hiring manager who is looking for a graphic designer or a graphic design specialist? How does that help me understand how you can make my life easier? That's the main purpose of your headline. The main idea here is to give your value proposition. How can you make someone else's life easier? Let's have a look at your about section. Your about section is also a very important element of your LinkedIn profile because this is your chance to tell a little bit more of your story and give some context as to what makes you different and what sets you apart. So let's have a look here. Your first statement, I lead projects on brand identity, print collateral, photography, blah, blah, blah. This is not, I understand what you're trying to say here, but essentially this is just the how of what you do. It's not exactly the ultimate goal. So if you're trying to get people's interest with your very first couple of sentences, right? What you want to do is have that first 2 or 3 sentences straight to the ultimate result. Like when you're thinking about what you do, break it down into, what it is that you do, how you do it, and what kind of ultimate result does it bring to the employer or the hiring manager or whoever else it is that you're targeting. So in your case, I would say the second sentence, I provide innovative solutions to brands that need more engagement. That is the ultimate goal. So who are you targeting? You're targeting companies that are thinking, hey, my social media is boring. I need more engagement. Let's find someone who knows how to do that. That's how they find you. Okay, one last point in regards to the about section that will be relevant for so many other people who are not sure how to position themselves well on LinkedIn. If you are putting something like this, I'm currently open to the perfect job opportunity. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Any recruiter or hiring manager or the employer, whoever it is on their side, they are not looking for someone who is the best job seeker. They're not looking for someone who is on the lookout for opportunities. They are looking for someone who can get the job done and help them overcome certain challenges and fill a certain need in their business. So the fact that you're actually highlighting that you are on the lookout does not increase your value in the eyes of your potential boss. So do not include that in your about section, and better use that character space to show how you add value, how you do what you do, what sets you apart. Those things are way more likely to sell you much, much better and get other people interested in your profile. Okay, let's keep looking. So if I scroll down, I know that normally there is an opportunity to have some featured media attachments right under your about section. Unfortunately, Dehlia, you don't have any. And for you as a graphic designer, for someone who is in such a creative and visual profession, I would say this is one of your biggest assets. Let's look at the experience section. In your latest role, which ends December 2019. So again, I understand that currently you are on the lookout for new opportunities. And here's a really cool hack that will help you get more searchable on LinkedIn. So whenever a recruiter or an employer is typing, a search in LinkedIn, the algorithm will show the profiles of people who are currently employed first. But if you are not currently employed, what do you do, right? So here's a little hack for you. What you do is you create a new position for yourself where basically you expand on a little bit more of your about section. So again, highlight your core competencies, highlight your core skills. In the job title, you could put different titles of the kinds of roles that you're looking for. You can put in different keywords to make sure that, again, you pop up in those searches for those relevant job opportunities. And when it comes to choosing the organization, actually, you don't always need to choose an existing organization. You can type in a custom name, whichever it is. So it could be, if you're looking for an e-commerce business, you could put e-commerce. If you're looking at tech companies, you could put IT sector or whatever it is. If we look at this description, it is very, very short and it does only touch on the main job duties, so the functions or the task that you were able to perform. And I understand that because it was just an internship, there may not have been a lot of outcomes or a lot of results that you could potentially be proud of. But again, your LinkedIn profile is not your resume, so you don't have to talk about the same job tasks or job responsibilities. This is not what is going to get people to message you or to reach out to you and have a conversation with you. In this case, I would recommend touching upon as many results or specific outcomes as you can. So if you were developing digital content for social media, maybe it led to increase in followers, maybe it led to an increase in community engagement, maybe it helped to create a stronger brand awareness, or maybe you came up with some creative ways of adding diversity and including other formats in the content strategy. Things like that. Again, think about those specific outcomes or specific results, and those would sell you so much better than just simply listing job responsibilities. So scrolling down, skills and endorsements. Let me click on more. So I can see that you've added quite a lot of those skills, which is good, and some of them do hit on the critical keywords such as digital media or print design or data analysis, illustration, stuff like that. Unfortunately, you do not have any endorsements, Dehlia, so I would recommend starting to work on getting those skills endorsed. Also, when we look at the top 3 skills pinned right here, so those are the skills that appear at the top, right? So whenever a recruiter or an employer is looking at your profile, this is what they see. They see this top 3 pinned skills. So please make sure that those are the most relevant skills for the job that you're currently targeting. So not necessarily the skills that just have the highest level of endorsements because it historically so happened that a lot of people endorsed you for them. It's not just the endorsements that matter. It's actually how the skill relates to the position that you're targeting. Okay, next up we have Eleni. I hope that I pronounced that correct. Again, first impression, Eleni, your profile picture could use some improvement. I mean, it is okay-ish, but if it could make it a little bit more professional and potentially have a lighter background, because usually, I mean, it's a matter of personal taste and personal preference, but if you have a lighter background, generally it puts more emphasis and more focus on your face, which is kind of the point, so I would recommend updating your profile picture. Looking at your headline, creating hotel guests delightful experiences and speaking their language, front office agent, foreign language educator. First of all, I love how you combine the two sides of your personality or of your professionalism. So on the one hand, you are emphasizing your experience in the hospitality industry, I assume, and the other one has to do with your foreign language education experience. So kudos to you. This is a really good way of combining those. Okay, now let's have a look at the About section. I like the idea of starting it with a question that clearly, has to do with a pain point or with a certain need in the market. So kudos to you for doing that. But what I don't like here is not actually your person. Guys, words like actually, basically, in reality, or whatever it is, those are great for conversations, and I get that you're trying to make this a little bit more conversational, but usually they are not the kind of words that add value to your description. So if you want to get straight to the point, cut out all of those buzzwords or all of those filler words and just get straight to it. Okay, now scrolling down, you have some featured media right under the About section, which is great. So if I were interested in learning more or finding out more details, I'll probably click on there to see what's up. Going further, okay, your most recent experience, foreign language teacher, and you have here self-employed. I'm sure that as a self-employed person, you have some sort of a brand name or a certain name that you associate with the work that you do. This would be a great place to put it. Also, what I do love about all of the descriptions that you have here is that first, you create a short punchline that kind of positions you and tells a little bit more of your backstory and the kind of teacher or the kind of front desk agent that you are, but then it has one highlight of something that you're really proud of. That is a really good way to handle this, and I would say that if you have 2 or 3 more highlights to add to the list, go for it, because this will be a really good seller for your personal brand on LinkedIn. Have some volunteer experience. Again, guys, use the description under your volunteer experience to talk a little bit more about your background and about how those experiences of you being an active volunteer, an active member of your local community or global community, whatever it was, how that experience turned you into who you are today and how it will help you add more value to other businesses in the future. One last thing that I don't see on your profile, Eleni, are recommendations. For a professional like you who deals with people all the time, whether it's guests at a hotel or students that you teach, I'm sure that you have a ton of awesome testimonials and you're missing an opportunity to include them into your LinkedIn profile. So the number one thing that you need to be doing after you finish watching this video is go out there and ask 5 to 10 people to recommend you on LinkedIn and share a really great testimonial on your profile, because you deserve it and it will just add so much credibility to your profile that it will be an amazing result for you. Okay, 2 profiles down, 3 more to go. Guys, lately I've been noticing so much more interest in LinkedIn as an instrument, not just for your job search, but for your personal branding as well. And I've been getting so many questions about optimizing profiles, networking on LinkedIn, and all of that stuff. So if you are interested in a tailored one-on-one approach to help you reach your goals with the help of LinkedIn and unlock everything that this platform has to offer for your career and professional development, let me know in the comments below. I'll be sharing a link right under this video with a link to my website where you can read more about the services that I provide. And just let me know in the comments if you want to chat in more detail and find out more about how I can help you brand yourself on LinkedIn and build your professional future. Next up, we have Lauren. Looking at the background image, I'm sensing that this is somehow related to your profession and to the kind of things that you're looking for, but unfortunately it adds a messy look to your profile. Generally, minimalism is a visual trend, whether we're talking LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, doesn't matter. So if you could find a different image in a slightly more minimalistic background that would help you get your profile to look a little bit more professional, I would definitely recommend doing that. Let's check out your headline. You have quite a few keywords in here, which is great, but they are very scattered. So first you have manager by itself, then you have leadership by itself, then you have manufacturing. So I would say figure out a way to connect those keywords to make them a little bit more specific. So if you're talking about operations manager, that's the keyword, not just operations by itself and then manager by itself. All right, and it looks like you're in Calgary, Lauren. Shout out to everyone who's in Calgary. I didn't see that before when I checked out your profile. Okay, let's have a look at the about section. I am a results-driven and dedicated operation and production manager. Guys, this is not your resume. I cannot stress this enough, but please do not use the same stiff and boring language as you would in your resume. Yes, your resume needs to meet certain standards and hit certain keywords, and mainly your resume is targeted at software that scans through it or the applicant tracking system. Your LinkedIn profile, yes, it also has some search engine optimization element, but it's no longer SEO for robots, it is SEO for people, because the number one goal of your LinkedIn profile is to get more people to look at it. So make it enticing for human eyes to read this stuff, whereas everything that you have in here just tells me copy-pasted resume. Looking further, your experience. So for whatever reason, in your current job, you do not have any description of your experience. And, you know, you've been there for almost 5 years now, so there probably is quite a lot you could talk about in terms of your accomplishments, results, or the things that get you excited to do this job. I can see that in all of the descriptions of your previous roles, what you're doing is you're simply listing your job responsibilities. Talk about results, accomplishments, and ways how you can add value, because every experience that you have, I bet it has certain learning outcomes or certain takeaways that helped you get better at what you do and helped you to grow professionally and learn something new. So those are the really cool things that you can talk about on your LinkedIn profile. Volunteer experience. It's great that you have some, but check out these descriptions. Interesting and eye-opening. In what way? Tell me more. You can use that volunteer experience section as a differentiator from your competition. You have some skills that are endorsed, so that's great. And clearly the top 3 ones that are pinned are highly relevant for, you know, for the job, for your current job, and for the kinds of opportunities that you might be targeting. Just make sure that things like written communication, guys, this is never a keyword that a recruiter or a hiring manager would be looking for. You can cut out those generic skills because they're not going to get more people to view your profile or want to reach out to you. If you want to prove that you have great written communications, writing a great LinkedIn profile and a great resume is the best way to do that.